Hello and welcome to day 6 of 73, and today I'm going to be talking about distractions and how important it is to stay in the present moment as far as being true to yourself and your personal development journey. Now, that is a lot, but mostly I wanted to talk about the ability to now understand that the present moment is not only all you ever really have, but it is also how one can be able to move forward in terms of being able to cultivate the best in what they're trying to do in terms of change. Now, I am a victim of social media. I scroll, I watch reels, I want to go in further rabbit holes trying to find out different things about different people. And a lot of that is a distraction away from me actually doing the work within myself in terms of trying to find out how best I can be able to make not only my life, but the life of the people around me better. And one of the things aside from social media that was a distraction for me was drinking. I used to use it as a very strong masking agent in terms of whether it was in a social context, in a context of being able to now either approach people or feeling as though it was a part of an identity of me. It was very easy for me to shift into that particular frame of mind whenever I felt as though the noise inside my own head was getting too loud or things were too silent. And it felt like I was weak in those moments when I was now having to face my own self in my own head and never really connected how being able to stay present would allow me to have a bit more insight in terms of how best I can come out of that and approach life in a different way. So, in saying that, a part of my journey, there's been a lot of meditation. I've naturally gone to therapy as well because I've figured out that in the moments when I would want to most reach out and distract, those were essentially the times that I would need to really sit with myself and figure out and try and understand better what it is that I can be able to harness in that moment to make things ultimately improve. And so, something that I dawned upon me today, and I think it was an extension of something that I talked about yesterday when I was dealing with my 4-year-old, was again today he got really upset about a certain situation. And I remember talking again to my wife about being able to lean in and being able to now understand that in that particular moment is where I'm going to find my power. We started just throwing pillows around. Now, it doesn't make much sense, but in the realm of channeling the raw emotional energy to something that would now physically be fun, essentially, we got to laugh. We got to talk about different things and share. Bath time was a breeze, and we ended up at a space where he was now much calmer and much more willing to embrace that particular situation. And so it made me pause and think about how many times we do get to face situations that aren't necessarily the most comfortable or the most convenient in our different stages in life. And understanding that the more you push through, the more it is that you're going to find the solution that you're ultimately looking for. My wife also showed me this video this morning about this guy going on a rant about talking about it's not that hard when it comes to parenting. Although I might resonate with that slightly, I do want to say it is challenging but straightforward. It is not something rocket science worthy. Where shout out to the Artemis 2 team, where you now have to go deep inside your brain trying to figure out what it is that you need to do. The power is in the present moment. If you now are willing to put yourself out there and be raw and be honest with how it is that you are feeling, then you don't need as much distraction. You don't need anything else to now come into that void to fill it. You can always be able to gain a lot of strength from being able to lean in. So, thank you for your time.